ditto what everybody else has said. Thank you so very much for being here. It's always a joy to see you. I see you many times, but it's always a joy to see you. And you as well, Madison. Thank you to BAC. You all have been great. We do feel like movie stars here. This is, the sisterhood. This here always reminds me of why I chose Delta. And I'm going to celebrate 40 years next year in Delta. This is it, I would be remiss if I did not shout out Sora Maxine. She has been the absolute greatest. We have definitely. Okay, me either did not inspire to write a book at all. No intention. Mind my own business, doing what I do in my private practice, working with women who are coming in, who all have one thing in common. The relationships that they were in were toxic. Mm-hmm. And women have a way of negotiating with betrayal.
Wow.
We will negotiate to the hilt with betrayal. And women suffer in silence, as Dorothy Angel has said, and Sora Blonda. We suffer in silence, but I have a front row seat because I'm your therapist. And all the doors were open. I got to see it all. There are tons of books written on relationships, and relationships are complex. And we weren't talking about you ending your relationship with your cheating man. We were talking about what happens to you when you decide that you're going to betray yourself to try to fit into a relationship that's not working. Yeah. Yes. So the book started to write itself, The book grew out of real conversations. It grew out of real life experiences. I had my own. And therefore I was a compassionate healer. But I gotta tell y'all, before I went through anything in my relationship, I remember the first couples therapy session I had. I told that lady to leave him. Take all your stuff. Take it all. I know a lawyer. I would introduce. I wish I could find her now. But as I went through my own, and so if I understand, exercise with journaling, I've always journaled. And I've always journaled to try to make sense of life for myself. You can ask your friends, you can ask your pastor, you can get a therapist, but you gotta have honest conversations with yourself. So my journaling was me looking in a mirror and confronting all the lies I was telling myself to try to sustain in relationships where there was betrayal. So the book grew out of my therapy sessions, it grew out of my personal experiences. And I want to tell you, I like trying to understand life through storytelling. I mean, I love a rom-com, I love a chick flick. So when I thought about writing a book, I said, people don't really gravitate towards self-help books. Everybody wants a novel. So I'm gonna write this as a novel, but it's going to have a self-help tone to it. So what I did was I wrote the book to all the broken pieces that I was talking to in my therapy sessions. These women were morphing into alter egos, character images of themselves, and didn't even realize it's all unconscious, subconscious. So I named them as the narratives came in and the information came into me. I started to name them. Oh, she is acting like she doesn't see what's going on. That's the blind. This one is trying to twist information and manipulate information and try to make it what she wants it to be. That's the manipulator. This one right here, she's wanting to figure out everybody else except him. That's the finger point. This one is hopeful. She believes in the magical power of potential. That's the dreamer. This one right here, wow. struggling, she is the savior. She gonna fix everything. Him, herself, the relationship. She's gonna fix it all. Then I had the helpless. Now the helpless knows that she's in a relationship that is not working, but she is not gonna take a chance to leave. Because what they say, stay with the devil you know. She's staying. At least I know what I got. So she's staying. Then we have the settler. She's a little bitter. She ain't leaving either. She knows he's not what she wants. But there's some good in that relationship. He's not totally bad. So I'm gonna lean over here to the good and stay. And then we have the compromiser. She's a little mixture. She's a dreamer, she's a little blind, and she's a settler, all mixed in together. And she is staying because she believes in the power of change. At some point, he's going to change. She's still waiting and waiting. And what I tell them all is the person who changes the most is you. The longer you stay and the more you negotiate with betrayal, the more it changes you. So our work was to get women to reconnect to themselves. Bring all your boundaries, all your standards, all your morals, all your needs back into the relationship. And if there is no room for him after that, he is not the one for you. And that's the premise of the book. So this is here. You open this book, you will find yourself in the pages of this book. In one character, 2, 3, or all, you'll find yourself in these books. But it's a healing book. It's not a judgmental book. It's reflective and it's strong language, but it's confrontation. Okay? And the book, you gotta do your work. And that's when journal comes in. So it's a guided journal. There's a workbook portion because a lot of people struggle with journaling. They do not know how to even start writing. And that's the part where you know you're not used to being honest with yourself, when you can't journal. So I got some guided pieces in there, and then there's a whole section for you to rewrite your truth. So after you answer the questions, this is a conversation with yourself. Not your sorors, not your friends, not your pastor. This is a conversation with yourself. And then you rewrite that truth. And then you live it. So they're not to be just read, they're to be applied. Okay? So meet me over here. And let's keep this healing journey going.